Hi guys, this is Matt Z from the Optimus Futures Studios, and today I'm recording for you the third part of the indicator that we actually build for our day traders for MT4 and MT5 used on futures trading and on spot FX. So we're going through the third part today. This is the part which is the 1 hour range for the ATR, and this goes back 20, let's look at the parameters. This one actually goes back 24 bars. So we're looking at how much the ATR, how much the average true range price moved already, relatively in the last bar, relatively to as the average for the last 24. And in the 1 hour range, what we're seeing that the last bar here actually, it's not this bar, it's actually this bar here. What we're actually seeing is that we had a 1 hour range, the average is moved more than 800% relative to the last 24 bars. Okay, how much it has moved today. So this is again the 1 hour ATR and the percentage. Now what does it tell you actually? Okay, so if you are a day trader, you see that the ranges are very wide today. Okay, if you are, for example, if you're a swing trader, it should also give you an idea that a day like this, you might need to reevaluate how long you want to hold this position. Maybe your targets have been met both from risk management and both from profitability. So definitely something to look at. So again, in the first video that we did, actually the second video, we talked about the 1 hour range. Okay, so just to as a reminder here, and I'm just using it for reference because it's hard for me to follow everything. So the first one was the daily ATR, and this one goes back 5 days, and it shows you how much the ATR price has moved already today. So everything here that we measure, we just want to know what today means, right? What today means relatively to all the other periods. Here we have the 4 hour ATR going back 12. Okay, and this tells you again how much the ATR price has moved today, and this is again going back at 12 bars on the 4 hour range. So we're looking at 4 hour intervals 12 times, and then now we're looking at the 1 hour range right over here, and that's the last one, and it shows you that it has moved. How much it has moved today relatively to the other one? It's actually 800% more. Okay, I shouldn't say more, but 800%. It means it's 8 times what the ATR has been relatively to other days. Again, what's the significance of all this? If you're a day trader, clearly on a day like this, you will have more opportunities in terms, at least in my opinion, I should say, to get in and out, but the ranges will be much higher. Now, it's very easy to gauge that this is a very long bar on this one, but I want to show you something. If you are a short-term trader, and I'm going to move the time frame here to, let's say, 15 minutes. Okay, it is, and again you see here that it's 803%. It is extremely hard to see what today means relatively, right, to the other ones. Because you go through this and like, well, what does it mean? Is today more volatile than others? Majority of people do support. Here's the support, then they'll decide if maybe there's a resistance here because of this bar, or there might be a resistance here because this has been support that's been broken. But having all this analysis is worthless, in my opinion, if you don't know the ranges that you're dealing with. If you have the stops and your targets, if they're not adjusted accordingly, it won't do anything for you. Again, in every video, I'm going to emphasize that what you have to do as a day trader is go back every single time to each market that you trade and say, okay, what am I facing with up until now? what has been so far. So a day like this where you have 800%, it is unlikely that we will, you know, the volatility will be lower, will be much lower today. Maybe it will be halved with the next bar. Maybe, we don't know. But essentially, you know, what you're looking, it's not gonna go to 100% in days like this. Again, I should say, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go through all the markets. I started here on the crude oil. The crude oil had a really big move today. And so I wanted to just kind of show you what we're facing right now. So this is on 15 minutes, and this time I'm gonna go a little bit backwards. I'm gonna go to the gold. And again, those are, you know, if you look at this time frame, I'm looking at 4-hour time frames. Okay, if you want to change it to, let's say, 1 hour, okay, we can do 1 hour, just to give us an idea of what the market has done today. Okay, it's calculated it. Again, we have a daily range of 144% for our swing traders. Not much action on the 4-hour range, which is swing to, you know, holding a number of hours, 346. And the 1-hour range is 752. Now, again, all those are ATRs. And just to give you an idea, I know a lot of people have bought indicators over the years. And a lot of the vendors out there say that our indicators are proprietary. There's no such thing as really proprietary. The only thing that makes, I would say, make this proprietary is really the fact that we have placed it in a visual display that's easy, that you don't need to sit and calculate it, so you just go in and see it. But every indicator out there, at the end of the day, it is funny when people say it's proprietary, because what do you have but the price, right? The only thing you have is just price. You calculate the price and that's it. We actually sat with very smart programmers, and again, in our opinion, they're smart, and we calculated this. And again, and the reason is because what I saw in the industry that's happening is that traders have a challenge, and the challenge is they say, look, sometimes I go nuts throughout the day, right? I lose it. Like, I'll have a losing trade, and then I'll try to recover from the trade, and you know, and I dig myself even into a bigger hole. And to be honest, we've all been through that. So it's important to look at something at the end, at the beginning of the day when you trade, as we come from the overnight session and it happens and things that develop, to say, look, you know what, this is a pretty volatile day. The daily range is 40% higher. The 4-hour range is, again, the average true range is higher, and this range, you know, and today we're facing 752% on the last bar of the 1-hour range. And again, average true range is measured as the highs and the lows of the day, right? That's what it measures. It measures the fluctuations that it goes. So the number of the average true range, you know, tells you a lot, but what it means today relatively to the other periods tells you quite substantially also how you should adjust it daily. Okay, so this is the gold. Those of you who trade natural gas, we saw here, see all the physical commodities are rather rocking today. And again, we're not looking here, the interesting part is that we're not looking whether, this indicator doesn't tell you whether to buy or sell. But what it does do, if you decide to buy, let's say in the trending market like this, it tells you, look, if you're trading short term, just really, really be careful, right? It just, you know, you have to probably widen the stops on this one. Okay, this is natural gas. You know, this is the famous mini S&P. Now this is the last of the future contracts. And again, you know, here, look how interesting it is over here. The daily range, you know, it's 88%. So it just tells you that, you know, those who are swing traders, you know, it's pretty much choppy for them, you know, for the last little while. On the other hand, if they're day traders, today has been really a better day for them to trade, you know, because the 1 hour, we have a little bit more activity. The ones who are medium kind of term traders, a double, it's nice as well. All right. And again, we're at the end of those videos, I'm going to go through all of this, right? And I'm going to show everything. So the average true range is only one element of this display of indicators that we have built, and I'm going to tell you exactly what are all the parameters that we use on all of them. I don't want to hide anything because I don't want you to think that I have some secrets that others don't. All we're looking at is price, and it's the only thing you should look at, right? Price is the indicator of everything. It doesn't matter your belief system, fundamental belief system. Let's go back to the crude for a minute, okay? Let's say you think there's a shortage of crude in the world, right? Who cares what you think? I think that there is a shortage, okay? Let's assume, okay? Without putting anybody down, say I think. Does this price actually tells me that it justifies my opinion? Now, could there be shortage fundamentally? Yes. Is it reflected in the price? No. So it's important to just look at price. This indicator specifically looks at price. This is the only thing we care about. Okay, so we did the E-mini S&P. Let's go to the pound, to our friends who are trading spot FX. And now we're also licensed with IG Markets to trade spot FX. So I'd love to earn your business there. We don't charge more. We charge the same as all our FCMs. Our spot FX FCMs, or FDMs as they're called. So right now with the pound, very, very interesting. 110% for the daily, 4 range 257, and 1 hour is at 522, right over here. Now this one, let's see what time frame it is here. It's on 4 hours, and let's see if we can go to the 1 hour. Okay, and as you see the 1 hour, you see the trend is going up. Ranges are, 500% here. Okay, and basically I think it probably, and now we see a trend down rather, but it's very, very hard to tell if you trade short term what is the 1 hour range, how volatile it actually is. This thing doesn't tell you. If you've been through this, you might come over here not understanding what volatility, and then you go through this. As you look at this indicator daily, you will start seeing a certain pattern that's evolving around the volatility of the product you trade. You would see the anomalies that occur around it, and it will give you purely an objective view of the price action. Okay, let's go to Australian market. Again, this is 4 hour. This is what I like to look at. So if it's at, time frames, there we go. So this is 1 hour. Let's move this one to 30 minutes, just to show you that the indicators here will not change. Okay, we're waiting for update. There's a commercial break. I'll have my coffee. Commercial break is over. All right, here, daily 1, and here you have, so let's say this is 104%. Again, this is 100% of what the price has actually moved today relatively to the rest of the days. Okay, so we're looking at today relatively to the other days. And so let's look at this. For example, just remember this number, 104, 296, 531%. And you look into the time frame, and I'm going to change it to 1 hour. Okay, and you see this one doesn't change. And it shouldn't change, by the way. The reason it shouldn't change because price and volatility relatively to those terms are always the same. Okay, so daily 4 hour range, daily 4 hour and 1 hour ATRs that will measure the percentage. Okay, Euro USD, we also see quite, good. Today's a good day to trade. Right now it's 236, so we're coming, to the Friday, so we're coming to the end of the session. Probably, you should probably quit trading probably within the next hour. Take care of yourself, your family. And here you have the Japanese yen. This is the last one today. Again, we have a daily range, which is pretty normal, but a 1 hour range, and we can do 1 hour, so you can actually see. So look, you look at it right now, you look at it with the naked eye, right? So you're going through this. Let's see, what time frame did we put it on? Okay, we put it on 30 minutes. So you're looking at 30 minutes and you see it fluctuates and you see ups and downs and everything else, right? But you do want to look at the 1 hour. It's very important, in our opinion, to look at the 1 hour. It's very indicative of the market volatility. Don't look at just at the last little thing here that it does. So You know, right now the time frame on this one is 30 minutes. Okay, let's move it to 1 hour right here, and now it gives you a better idea of, you know, what kind of volatility the actual market it goes through within that hour. That's it for now. We covered the first section of the multi-time frame box, which is the daily, the 4 hour and the 1 hour, right over here, measuring the average true range. The next videos I'm going to talk about this daily trend, 4 hour trend, the 1 hour trend, and here we're going to have CTF, which is the current time frame, and a higher time frame, which actually, this is my favorite part because it really tells you whether the market is trending right now, it's in a range, it's in a fade, and it actually gives you also the colors accordingly. So I think that everybody should have this indicator. You can purchase it from us. We do sell it to customers who have, you know, maybe bigger accounts or, you know, trade frequently, you know, to compensate them with that, we could provide it for free as well. We're always flexible. In any case, I wish you well, and today's Friday, so I wish everybody a really good weekend, and I'll see you next week. All the best.